Hi.
Make sure though, if you're hitting record, sometimes you have to hit record and play at the same time to make sure that's how you record, depending on what kind of tape recorder you have.
Yeah, no, I'm actually using like an 8-track, like I
Oh,
have an
good.
old 8-track recorder. All right, first of all, you guys, I just want to thank you at the very top for creating so much joy at a time in my life personally and in the world's life where we need it so much. You have made a perfect movie, and the only reason I wanted to have you come on the podcast is to just say that you made a perfect, hilarious movie, and thank you.
That's very
Disagree
sweet of
and
you
don't
to
accept
say.
your thanks.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Controversy.
Well,
Controversy already.
this is the stuff that gets clicks.
Yeah,
Point
clickbait.
counterpoint.
Um, I
No,
want,
I want to give a sincere thank
okay,
you.
you're so
Thank you.
welcome. Um,
Yeah, thank you.
David may or may not know this. It is very rare that I have the same guest on my podcast more than once. But when I saw this movie, I thought we're breaking all the rules because here I
Just like the movie.
just like the movie. And what's so crazy is you are both my celebrity sex pass. So this is like my mind is blown.
Wow.
I know, crazy.
Well,
So let
since I have been on before,
yes,
anything you ask me, I can just say refer to the previous episode and Ken can talk.
perfect. That sounds great. I
It's
want
gonna
to
be a
just
confusing
I
podcast.
just want to uh introduce you both officially to the one person listening in, I don't know, Singapore, who may not yet know who you are. So I'm just going to say that I am here today with Ken Marino and David Wain, who are the co-writers of truly one of the funniest movies ever in the history of movies called Gail, Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. David Wain directed it. By the way, also quick shout out, it's also the 25th anniversary of another fabulous movie called Wet Hot American Summer. So congrats on that as well.
Thank you.
Um,
But yeah, just for the record, you just said this one's better, right?
I said this is the funniest movie
Yeah, great. That's
in,
all I needed. That's all I needed.
I know,
That's
I
all I
know.
needed to hear.
But if you refer back to the previous episode with David, I did say that Wet Hot American Summer is the funniest movie ever
Oh man.
for the
Yeah,
cross.
I just reviewed the transcript from the previous episode to make sure
Yeah.
I was up to date.
But also, people listening, Ken and David are the brilliant team behind the films Role Models and Wonderlust, Children's Hospital. They started the insanely funny sketch comedy group called The State, which then went on to have their own show, The Ten. They are also in this incredible band called the Middle Aged Dad Jam Band. And they met when they were in college, so it's really heartwarming to see two people who know how to sustain a long-term relationship. You've never consciously uncoupled. You only stayed coupled. And what is like the center of this relationship that keeps it going for decades and decades?
Well, I have been thinking about lately because as you said, there's this Wet Hot American Summer anniversary and we're this new movie coming out and other things. And there's a lot of groups of friends in college who hang out together and or work together and we're like we'll always do this together like we like never stop till we're old, and the fact that we actually somehow did that is quite a gift, and I ascribe it to the fact that we were lucky enough to meet people that had such a complementary sensibility so early on, and that itself was lucky. And then we all put in the work, and I think everyone had enough of talent to like just sort of. It's amazing that this group of 11 of us that was a sketch group in college has everyone has gone on to have real careers in as artists in the business, and it's a really lovely thing.
Well,
But to your point about David and I and how we've done it, we met our first day of college before we were in the state together. We met the very first day of college. I went down to visit a guy I went to high school with, who was David's roommate, David and Craig Wedren, who scores all our movies and is an incredible musician and has an incredible band and a whole history unto itself. But I met David and Craig that first day and connected with them pretty much immediately. And yeah, it is pretty special and magical that we've known each other since, when was that, David? 1987?
87,
What month when do you start school?
September.
September? September 87. And we've known each other since then. And, you know,
It's almost hard to do that math because I'm now almost 40.
yeah, I don't know how you look
Well, you were
amazing
both
because you're so
the
young.
Doogie Housers of NYU at the
Yeah.
time. It
That's
doesn't
right. We're both Doogie Housering it.
Yeah.
But over the years, David and I have, tried very hard to work together. And of course, just when we weren't, we would, spend time together when we were in the same state and always stay in contact. And, working with David is a blast and it's fun. But as you said, like, uh, uh, it's we as we grow, just like any relationship, we communicate with each other and try to address things with each other to keep it healthy and to keep going, because we know how special and wonderful this collaboration is, and this relationship is, both professionally and just just, personally, as friendships.
Well, it's really beautiful and it's clearly infectious because so many people want to keep working with you guys. Because we're here to talk specifically about this movie, I want to just get into a little bit of like how this specific story, I mean, it has all the things, all the things I love in a comedy, which is like tremendously talented comedic actors, a brilliant script. John Slattery, our dear mutual friend, I asked him, is there like a lot of improv going on? And he's like, no, it's all on the page. Although his favorite thing was when you would like yell out alts to him. So there was that element of
Yeah.
surprise, but not like improv in that way. And this particular story was born out of what? Like what funny conversation were you guys having, or how did you like
Well,
workshop this idea?
we we have a thing that we've done 3 times now where we make a decision to go into a room for 7 days, 12 hours a day, just to block off time like you would for a film shoot. And we start with nothing, and then we emerge at the end with a first draft of a screenplay. And so the first day of that 7 day stint that we did for this screenplay, it started with, so what could a movie be about? And then and one of the things we brainstormed was just maybe that idea of a couple with a celebrity pass kind of thing. What would that be like? Or what's the comedic escalation of that? Oh, what if they really do it? Then what happens? And then really just truly sitting in a room and joking around and brainstorming until we had a little more of a story and then more of an outline, and then we write the script.
And just so just for your listeners, we come out of it with a script after 7 days. We come out with a first draft, but then we then take years of reworking it, massaging it, changing most of it, but the beauty of, I think, the thing that 7 day experiment that we do and done 3 times is that you have the bones of something, and it's an original, fresh thing that came out of both our brains in real time in those 7 days, and then you can build off of that, and it's invaluable. It's like
I'd love to check to see if I'm right about this, but I think there's stuff from that first draft in the final movie.
For some reason, my computer wanted to remind us that we were recording or
You want me to say
someone
that
else.
again?
Yeah.
Um, I w- I would I think this might be true that a lot of what is in the final movie though did come out as it was in that first writing session?
There are two things that sort of come up while you're watching the movie in this like delightful way, and in no way does this feel like derivative of anything when you are watching this film. Like it feels like the most original, fresh ever. But there is a sort of Wizard of Oz feeling to it, in terms of these people going on a quest together. And there's also that like switch suitcase heist trope that we've seen and loved so much, either in romantic comedies. I mean, from What's Up
Mhm.
Doc to like an Ocean's 11 sort of movie.
Yeah.
So is that something that you were like, oh, you know what this is like? That's funny. Or was that like, what if we really consciously thought about these films or The Wizard of Oz, for example, and like leaned into it?
Well, the Wizard of Oz thing was definitely a structural guidepost that we picked up on early on. We were like, hey, this story could kind of fit into that template, and it would be fun to yet, and as you said, yes, to lean into over the course of the movie becoming more and more overtly doing The Wizard of Oz. And so we thought that would be both an actual good story structure and a comedic engine of like we found that people who watch the movie sometimes pick up on it from the first scene, sometimes much later on, sometimes not at all, and that's a fun element to it. And then as far as all the
Sometimes
other,
it's point. It's just I just hope it's recording at all. But sometimes it's funny when somebody comes up and they're like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I feel like it's sort of like The Wizard of Oz. The movie's sort of like The Wizard of Oz. And
You're
we're like, yeah,
that's
that's
wow, no, that's great. I'm glad that sure. Um Zoe Deutsch, who's been on the show, I think is really one of truly the most delightful people on planet Earth,
yes,
maybe other planets as well, and and also for folks
all planets.
who are in other all planets. Also, she's sort of what we call the straight man in this film, but she happens to also be one of the funniest people as well. So to have someone who understands comedy so deeply, but also playing this sort of person that everything happens to in this film
yeah.
was such a brilliant casting choice. She's also the most beautiful human on the planet. So for someone to be that funny and that beautiful and talented, it makes me a little bit mad, but that's for me to work out on another podcast. um, John Slattery playing someone whose career did not go the way he wished it would in your film, which we know is very different from how his actual life has gone. Uh,
Yeah, we took some fictional creative license.
yes. And how much do we love that he was 100% for it and all uh, in the both delivering the greatest comedic for performance and also making fun of himself at the same time. It's like a really it's a beautiful John Slattery tribute film in a way.
I mean, I think John Slattery is one of the funniest actors alive, in addition to being just one of the great actors. And to have a chance to riff on our imagined version of his persona was just a joy to both to write and then to see him bring it to life and, elevate it to the sky was so awesome.
Ken, I want to ask you because for folks who haven't seen it yet, not only are you a co-writer, you star in this movie, your performance is fantastic. You are hilarious and charming on screen as all get up. And I want to know after you have full ownership of this thing. You wrote it together, you've lived it and breathed it, as you said, for years as a writer. Was it always going to be that you were also in the film? Is that an idea that came later? And then second part to this question is what is it to then be on set and sort of you're not directing it and sort of just allow yourself to be directed and be an actor in the thing?
I campaigned
Oh,
so hard for him not to be in the film, but go on.
Yeah.
I had a 51% vote, so I
Mm.
won. But
Smart.
majority vote. But when David and I write together, David is a better better at typing, and but the way we write together is we're in the room together and we act stuff out like we did when we were on the sketch comedy group, the state that we were on, and we just like do characters and come up with stuff and riff off each other, and inevitably there's always a character that is, in the pocket of my voice. And so Vincent was clearly becoming a character that if and when we ever did this movie, I would, I was going to clearly lobby for and be like, hey, I'd like to play Vincent. And so that's how it went down. And David allowed me to play Vincent. And then on the set, when
I
I
allowed
am
him.
on the set, David is directing and I am acting, and I don't say anything. I have no opinions. I don't,
Yeah.
I, I don't, I just
No.
let David do
It's
the
just like
directing,
whatever
and
you
I
say,
just
boss.
sit back and
Yeah.
just be the actor.
This is a funny
Love that.
joke that he's
No,
making.
that's what I heard. I just wanted to confirm that. How do you get Weird Al Yankovic to be in your movie?
The fact
Call him
that
up.
Weird Al Yankovic, I was like obsessed with when I was 10 years old at Camp Moden, trying to tune in to Top of Sugarloaf Radio in Maine and hearing this incredible thing. And the fact that he was such a hero as a young teenager, and to now he's kind of just in our world here in LA. Like we know him very well, and he's around all the time, and it's crazy to think about that. But he's been in our videos with our band. He's played with our band. He's cameoed in many other things we've done. And so yeah, we just asked him if he would do it, and he was like, "Tell me what time." It was
And
crazy.
the truth is there's I'm trying to figure out who the bigger mensch is, and it's either Henry Winkler or Weird Al, and I don't know who it is because they're both the sweetest, kindest men I've ever worked with, and so generous. And to have met them over the years in this town and become friendly with them, and I'm able to say they're my friends now, like that they're, like we get to work with them on different projects. It is it's a trip for
The
sure.
other crazy thing is that a lot of people we reached out to, like we asked Penn Jillette to come fly in for one day to sit there and literally not speak. And he was like, sure.
Really,
Which might be my favorite joke of the whole movie. That
that's
Penn
what I
Jillette
was going
doesn't
to ask
speak.
you. Is that in terms of, I mean, all of the camp, I mean, it goes on and on and on, right? But I wanted to ask you, like, what is your, if you had to live in one joke over and over again in this film, like on a deserted island, is that it? Penn Jillette not speaking?
I mean, it's one of my favorites. It's real subtle. Like you may miss it, but I giggle every time it happens because it's just because I know he's never going to say anything. He's just we specifically were like, don't you don't have any lines, and he was thrilled about it. He's like, great, I love it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, David, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Picking jokes is like Sophie's choice for me. I can't do it.
I know, but Sophie did. She made a choice. So
I
that's
know
it's a
she's
sad
stronger
movie.
than me. She is stronger than me.
Okay. So so yeah. Okay. I
That
totally
was my favorite joke of the podcast. She's stronger than me.
your editor is a genius. I have to say.
Yes,
Who was who
John Daigle.
His
there
name is
are
John Daigle. He's up for an Emmy, I think, or got one for editing Hacks. But he is one of the great comedy minds, and he is the type of editor that is super proactive. He's not just like tell me what you want. He'll really come up with ideas and try stuff that is not what you'd think and outside the box. And he's also super tireless and a great collaborator and communicator. And we sat in the room with him every day for a really long time and screened the movie all the time over and over again and went through a very long and wonderful process of, discovering what the movie is again, which you always do in post-production.
Yeah,
what
John is perfect. Perfect editor.
Well, the word tone is one of the hardest things to talk about, describe. It's a word that until you see it or feel it, and I feel like tonally, from opening credit to end credit, the perfect balance of tone in this film, and I assume much of that was on the page because you guys have worked together so much and you understand comedy so deeply, but that you got everyone, and not everyone has English as their first language in this movie, and yet you were able, really, between the edit, the script, and who you cast, and David's brilliant direction in this movie. We are so, like, the idea of sitting back and feeling like we are in the most capable hands in the world. We are here to only laugh and go on a joyride, and that you guys have accomplished that without a second's misstep is just like, it's no small thing. And I
Incredibly kind.
I just love your movie so much, and it
But
brought me so much joy. And I saw it at 9 a.m. Okay.
oh my
Like,
God.
generally, that's not.
Perfect time to watch a comedy.
It turns out, I only want to watch movies at 9 a.m. now. So, I
I,
got up and got to the screening at 9 a.m. because of how much I love you, David Wain, and
thank you.
I appreciate you. And now I feel that way about you, Ken Marino, because now you're on my show too. And
Thank you.
it's it's really remarkable. I wonder, because you've been doing so much press about this, and I want to be very mindful of your time and how much you are doing. You've been asked so much about this film, and I want to make sure, other than like everyone listening around the globe, go see the movie. It comes out on July 10th, 2026, I believe. By the time some people find this in the evergreen world of shows, it'll be the future and they'll already love it. Is there anything that no one has asked you, or that I want you to tell me? What can I ask you that you haven't been asked before, that's important for you both to share about this movie, the experience, your collaboration, your hopes and dreams for the film? What makes you happy about it? Like, what can I ask you that you haven't already been asked?
But while we both think about that, I just want to answer your previous question about the tone, which is, to me, the way that we did it, and Ken and I very much do this in partnership, is, to me, that's the number one job of the director, is to be aware of and then figure out how to execute the tone day to day. And when all these amazing artists are there, production designers and actors and photographers and everyone you collaborate with in the costumes,
Yeah.
they're doing a great job. And then it's our job to be like, oh, but and here's how which part of what you're doing fits into the larger tone. And in a comedy like this, it can be challenging, and we're constantly tweaking it all the way through the editing to be like, that joke is funny on its own, but doesn't really fit in the pacing or where we are. And for us, we land at a place where we feel like, okay, this is right. There's no missteps, as you said. For some people, it's filled with missteps. It's just that your mileage varies, but our goal is to get to the point where for the two of us, this is looks right, you know.
May I ask, not to get too granular, but Ken, you can answer this. Was there, when talking to the actors, or every department that you just described, from hair to, camera, was there a language, a sentence, sort of like verbal touchstones that helped everyone be in the same world or story? Or it's like, this, like something tangible that you could give people beyond the beautiful script?
Do
Well,
what I would say, do what I
okay,
say, because that's why you're getting paid.
that's right. And he would yell that over and over and over again. And everybody listened. When David yells, we all,
And
hop
then
too.
sometimes I'd be like, not quite my tempo.
Mm.
Yeah. I just while I think about and try to avoid the question you had about, like, are there any questions we missed, but I will go back to uh, something that was said earlier at some point, that you know the tone, and how that is created through David's direction and the script and the actors. It's everybody, all these departments, and you know I think part of it is we have a history with so many incredibly talented people. Craig Wedren comes to mind, who is David's a lifelong friend. He met him when he was 4 or 5 years old. I met Craig when I met David my first day of college, and we have been, friends and collaborators ever since. And Craig did the score to this movie and wrote all the music to this movie, and elevates the movie so much because he's so incredibly talented, but also understands the tone of what we're going for and complements it and feeds off of it, and then gives us ideas that then inspire us to be better. And I think that trickles down to all the departments. David has relationships, or I have relationships with, all the different key people in all the different departments. And we bring in these people that, we know will only lift up the script and elevate, it to its best, its best potential.
Well, I just feel like I'm using such corny phrases, but it really shines through. And yeah,
Thank you.
the music's extraordinary. I mean, I
It
think
is, right?
there are many takeaways from the film, but one of them is that generally speaking, it's hard for relationships to sustain themselves when they act on celebrity sex passes,
Right.
not
When you're in a
person.
relationship and one person in the relationship has sex with a celebrity, it can cause ripples in that relationship.
It
And that's the
can.
point we've been really, really wanting to communicate in
Yeah,
any way we could. And that's
that's
why
the
we wanted to
takeaway.
make this
We
movie.
felt it was important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just, I mean, that's just everyone's going to do what they're going to do. I'm just saying, like in real life, just think twice.
Think twice
Think
before
twice.
screwing a
Yeah,
Um,
face.
I mean, it's a dumb idea.
yeah.
Not the movie, just that
No,
the
it's the
concept of a celebrity pass.
smartest movie about a dumb idea I've ever seen, and the funniest. We only have a few minutes left, so I do want to know, is there anything that you want to say, share, ask? Do you want to have anything you want to ask me? Like just before we go.
Well, I want to say that for those who might be listening before the movie comes out on July 10th,
Yeah,
the tickets are already on sale.
great.
That's one thing that comes to mind.
And for
That's
anybody who's listening after July 10th, don't try to buy the tickets. They're not on sale anymore.
no,
Another
I mean
thing I
they're
would
not for
say,
July 10th, but they
right,
will
maybe
be
for
for
another
another
day.
day. Yeah,
Another thing I would say is if you have listeners that are on the East Coast, which I know you do have some,
yeah.
uh, our band later in July is going to be doing shows all up and down in Rehoboth and Rhode Island and in New York City and in the Hamptons and in Maine.
Well, your band is so good. I've only had the joy of watching you on YouTube or your Instagrams, but I really look forward. I grew up, I'm a Billy Joel lover, so I particularly love when you do those shows, but I love all the incredible songs that you cover. I feel like we drank some similar water growing up and love a lot of the same things. Um, David Wain and Ken Marino, I am so excited for the world to see your movie. I feel so lucky to be one of the first to see it. Message from John Slattery just in. Can you please write me another role? When I asked Instagram people to send in a question, that is his question. So think on it. He did a pretty good job in this one. You'll don't answer.
We have to look over the footage and just see how good a job he did, and then
Yeah,
yeah, maybe we
yeah.
will.
But I
And he
love
was a little bit of a diva on set.
a little.
Yeah. I'm being generous.
But that's how much your actors literally love working with you. David Ken, thank you for this movie. Thank you for being on the podcast. And I look forward to more.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And I love John Slatter. He was not a diva. Thank you for the kind words about this movie. It
It's
really made our day.
it's a thanks for the joy. All right, have a great day, you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.